Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. So first of all, I am really grateful that my videos are helping you guys quite a lot. So I really like when you guys give me prompt responses on my mail or Insta and all. So I just request you to share your feedbacks regularly, so that motivates me to create more amazing content for you guys, and it helps to the future aspiring pilots as well. Okay, and thank you so much for 230 subscribers. I really I feel obliged. So let's start. Okay, so moving forward to today's vlog, first of all, I want to tell that I didn't prepare for Redbird Aviation, as I already mentioned in my previous part A vlog. I didn't give any entrance exam or interview session. Definitely not entrance exam nor the interview session for Redbird. I just heard about it from someone whom I met during my class 1 medical, and she is currently flying in Redbird, so she had a good idea of what all the admission procedures and all are there. So I thought, let's make something out of it. Now in this one, I'll be talking about straight away two flying clubs, that is Chimes Aviation Academy and Madhya Pradesh Flying Club. Okay, both of these interview sessions I have given, so I would be able to tell you guys some of the important questions, what all you need to prepare before the interview, and what are some short questions that would be there. Okay, so before starting with my personal experiences, I would like to give a brief of the general questions that are being asked in most of the interviews. Whether you go any of the flying club, these questions would be there. Okay, so take a notepad or something and you can start noting. The first one is very basic: why do you want to be a pilot? Now in this, okay, I'll share with my experiences later. Now second question is strengths and weaknesses. In this, make sure, I'll give a tip, make sure that in strengths you link or you mention some of your strengths that are generally found in a pilot and are very beneficial for the industry, for the aircraft, for the crew, everyone. Okay, these things are seen, and if you have studied regulations, then you have a good catch of it. In human performance, we read about some characteristics that companies usually seek in a pilot, a candidate. Okay, so in weakness I would say, don't mention something that could affect your aircraft in any way. Okay, like you can mention like too emotionally not stable, sensitive person. These all personal characteristics of your personality also affect the aircraft in some or the other way. So do think very wisely that I would not mention something that could affect my aircraft. Okay, so these things are seen by the instructors and the officials who are taking your interview, so do take very good care of these things. Okay, so talking about something about general knowledge, I would say recent plane crashes could be asked by the flying clubs. Okay, like when I gave my Chimes interview exam, China crash happened, so they asked me about it as well. And one very important question, what all traits do you find in a good captain? Because they want to know how much you know about the characteristics of being a pilot. Because I'll tell you, most of the things, these people just want to see your knowledge, like they just want to test whether how much you know about the personality traits of a pilot, so you can reflect those things to them. Okay, so they just want to see what all do you know about a pilot as a person, a general person, what all characteristics does he possess or he or she possess. Okay, now, besides this, some GK questions like who is the current aviation minister, and how many airlines are there, what is the market share of these airlines. These were general questions, and these questions have been asked by me. Have been asked from me, in the interviews as well. So let's move forward to that, and firstly we'll start with Chimes Aviation Academy. Okay, so I'll start from the very beginning. What all preparations did I do before giving the interview session? So I made a notes kind of thing. I didn't mug it up, but I wrote it somewhere so that I can revise it regularly, and I don't create a blunder kind of thing in front of them, because definitely that anxiety, that hesitation comes for a second when you are new in industry and going for an interview session. Okay, so I'll start. What all did I prepare? I actually wrote about my introduction, the very basic. What is my name? From where do I belong? And what is my current age? What brought me to aviation? I just this is a separate question, by the way. Why do you want to become a pilot? But I added something of my own in this introduction only. Along with this, from where I did my schooling. Okay, this is an important question. And what all you can also mention about your family. Okay, so I live in a nuclear family of 4 or 3. How many siblings do you have? and are you the older one or the younger one? Okay, these kind of things. Though it is not too included in your introduction, but yeah, you can mention these things, and there's no problem, no harm in mentioning these things. Okay, now another important thing that you need to mention in your introduction is your hobbies, because don't say this that I don't have any hobby. Please don't say this, because this would create a negative impact on them, because we as pilots, we are very chill minded people. Okay, so we definitely need to have something other than studies. So you can mention about something sports, something else. I mentioned about my badminton. I play badminton. I attend my academy classes as well for badminton. So these all things are there, but do make sure that you mention your real hobby. If you don't play any sports, then I'll be very frank with you guys. If you don't play any sports, don't mention it, because chances are there that they could ask you name two of the two famous players of badminton or any other sports, and how many medals do they have. If there's a very kind of person who just wants to test your knowledge, and he's just sitting on the words that now today I'll just screw this guy or this girl, so you can just expect these questions as well. So do mention everything honestly, and know as much you can about them. Okay, besides this, they asked me about my strengths and weaknesses, and I already told you what all character traits do you find in a good captain. They asked me this as well. Along with this, they asked me about market share of airlines, which airline is doing best, how much share do they hold, and how many aircrafts, and very basic question, what all aircrafts, two type of aircrafts are found, Airbus and Boeing. Grasp as much knowledge about aircraft, the small turboprop, and turboprop is there, and also piston engine ones, Cessnas and all, what all the basic functions of these. Okay, how many seaters, okay, these kind of things. Glass cockpit, and they asked me about glass cockpit as well, difference between conventional cockpit and glass cockpit. This is an important question. This could be asked in most of the flying clubs. Along with this, they also asked me what is the reason for, suppose Indigo, because Indigo is doing very good, it is the leading airline in today's time. So they asked me about Indigo, that what is the reason Indigo is doing such a great job and as compared to other airlines. Okay, so just mention this, search on Google as well, that Indigo being a low cost carrier, also it holds the largest market share, frequent flyers are there. Add up these points. Okay, you'll find everything on Google in detail. Read about Indigo, read about other airlines as well. So grasp a good hold of these things, and there would be no problem. They'll not go too deep, but they just want to see the upper layer of your knowledge of these things. Okay, so coming on to the last part, they asked me about their flying club. Okay, and this would be asked by most of the candidates will go there. Chimes Aviation Academy asked me about why do you want to choose Chimes over other flying clubs. You should be very clear with your reasons, your factors that you are seeking in the flying club, what all factors you need that you can't find in other flying clubs. Okay, and history also, they could be you could be asked about history, that Chimes Aviation Academy was built in which year, what is the fleet. Okay, how many aircrafts do they have, are they glass cockpits or conventional ones, if there is any other new aircraft, then what is its name, how many seater it is, and you can, the worst case, they could also be asked about the batch size and instructors. Okay, generally they do not ask these things, but it's good to know more about them. Okay, so do remember these, how many instructors are there, what is the batch size, and do they provide hostel facilities. In short, most of the things that you could grasp about the respective flying club, the more better for you. Also, along with this, talking about the difference between Boeing and Airbus, they could ask you about what is the where is the headquarters of Boeing and Airbus, what is the first aircraft that was being made, and where these things are asked. Okay, so these were the things that I prepared for the interview, but in my experience, actually there was a person who was actually the manager of the Chimes Aviation Academy, and he was also an instructor. I have no idea about it. Okay, so he asked me about the market share and all these general questions. Now coming on to the academic section, an instructor was there, a sir was there. He asked me about, he saw my 12th mark sheet and 10th mark sheet, and he asked me, oh, I scored this much in physics, then please tell me what is Faraday's law, what is electromagnetic induction, He also asked me about what is the difference between resistors in parallel, resistors in series. These very basic questions about physics. They could also ask you about maths, but actually I answered 4 questions out of 6 in physics. So they said that it's okay, you got the score, you are worth getting this much score in physics. So that's all. And some of the questions, don't hesitate if you don't know any question, just simply take time and don't try to make a blunder or link it somewhere. Just try and say it very clearly, sir, I can't recall. If you know the answer, very good. If you don't know, if you want to take time, then take 2 to 3 minutes, but don't delay it. Just be confident, because they want to see how much a quick decision maker are you. So just know your skills, that whether you know this question or not, and just say them honestly. I also said them, sir, I can't recall, I'm sorry. So they said honest enough, let's move forward to another section. So these things were there. And again he asked me about some certain characters traits, that why, how much good pilot do you want to become, what are the traits that you possess, you think you deserve to sit in a cockpit and all. These questions were there. Okay, so yeah, in all, Chimes Aviation Academy interview round was quite good for me, and yeah, I was selected in their interview process. But then I chose to change my flying club due to some factors. And let's talk about that flying club, that is the Madhya Pradesh Flying Club. Okay, so Madhya Pradesh Flying Club, I'm giving this weird smile because I know that the better the flying club, the more I mean, not difficult, but the more tricky the people are there to check your knowledge and all. Okay, they test your patience, they put pressures on you, just to see whether you can handle so much pressure or not. And that is very necessary, and I think it's a good way of testing people, candidates, in the interview session. So in a Madhya Pradesh Flying Club interview, there were 2 people, both of them were instructors, or one of them was instructor, one was a ground classes teacher. Ground instructor. So he actually, the first one asked me about my very basic things, that and yeah, in Madhya Pradesh Flying Club there were 2 rounds, one was online and one was interview kind of. Okay, I could not travel to Indore at that certain time, so I thought I would give my online interview, and that was better for me, because actually in the offline interview candidates went there. My friend is there who went there, so he told me that you'll go there, you'll be asked by a certain instructor about the basic controls and all. Why do you want to be a pilot? And yeah, in Madhya Pradesh Flying Club, people are very clear that don't give me these reasons like it's my dream job, it's this, I like to see aircrafts and all. And don't mention if someone is there in a family who's a pilot, then it's very good, you can mention it, but don't just stick to that point that he's a pilot, I want to be like him, they'll simply ask you that don't you have any say of your own, don't you have any your own dreams. So these things are asked by them, and they clearly tell that give me a certain proper reason, why do you want to be a pilot. Now you will be confused like this was my reason. Definitely it's everyone's reason to be a pilot. It is fascinating, we have a passion for flying, we find it very beautiful, we find it a job of very pride and all. Okay, that's exactly true with me as well. It's my dream job as well because of these reasons, and I am motivated by someone whom I saw at airport. So these all things are there with me as well. But actually they want to see how much can you survive in the industry, knowing the whole scenario. Okay, so know the total pros and cons of this job, commercial pilot, and don't treat, I'm sorry for calling it a job, don't treat this as a job, because in my interview I clearly mentioned I don't find this thing as a 9 to 5 job. I don't think that a desk job would suit a person like me. I am an adventurous person, I like to travel, and when travel comes with your passion and that is your total profession, then I think it's a combo package. Yeah, it's beautiful. You don't need to carry your workload home. You can just start it in the cockpit, end it here, end it there itself, and just enjoy the rest of the time. So I think that's a beautiful profession you could be in. So mention these kind of points. Okay, they want to see how much desperate you are there to be a pilot, not just motivated by imagination or dreams. That is good, that is very necessary, that is the first step that could trigger your emotions for being a pilot. but you should know the practical things as well in this industry. Okay, so mention these points, and that would create a boost in your selection procedure. Okay, so I actually discontinued in between. My friend who went there, he also told me that after the interview session, after the questions have been asked, they also tried to test the visual aptitude and multitasking control. So they had a simulator, and in that my friend, he was actually briefed about all these things. I know it's a very new thing, and I too was scared that I thank god I was not there in the offline session, but it's all right, because they brief you about the all the procedures and controls and all. Then there's a person, flying instructor, sitting beside you. He'll just guide you, set to 30 degrees, move forward, just maintain the altitude, don't change the heading and all. So these all things are there. It's very basic, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, you're not judged on that. The people also know that you're sitting in the cockpit for the first time. So yeah, that's okay. And I would not suggest that a lot of people think that we could take some classes, or we could practice these simulator games and all. You play video games, that would definitely boost your airline commanders and all. Many games are there. Okay, these things are there, but I would not recommend that practice these things beforehand, because they just want to see you raw. How much better pilot can you become in controlling and grasping controls and commands. Okay, so this will benefit you only. Okay, so coming on to my experience, they asked me some simple question 2 to 3 times. Actually, they were just pressurizing me, not in a bad way. With a smiling face, they were just testing my patience again and again, that I'll just shout, okay, please, you have asked this question me 4 to 5 times, don't do it. I know it feels like, oh god, kitni baar पूछेंगे यार, पर वो पूछेंगे. Okay, so they asked me about, do you know what is the current situation of airline pilots? Like there are 4 to 5,000 pilots sitting unemployed. I said, yes sir, they are sitting unemployed. I know there are more than 10,000 CPL holders actually are sitting at home. So they asked me, what is the reason? Why do you think so? A simple reason, it is the truest reason in today's time. Flying clubs are growing. Okay, a lot of pilots are trained every year. CPL holders are a lot, vast in number. But in comparison to airlines and the jobs, these are very less. The ratio is very less. Okay, so that is the simple reason that not everyone is guaranteed a job, whether it is cadet pilot program or a simple the conventional way. So the very basic reason. Now linking to this, they also asked me about, what if you don't get a job in the industry? Be prepared for this question, because this would be asked by them and any other flying club, because they definitely know the present scenario, what all the industry is facing and all. Okay, so don't be disheartened, don't be demotivated, don't show it to them. Even if you feel like so, don't show it to them. Okay, it's very normal. Just mention your traits, that yeah, I would think, sir, I think I am a better candidate than others. Why? Mention your traits. I am a person who puts his or her 100%. I know that if I focus something very well, then I'll be able to achieve it. Nothing could resist me from getting my job in the industry. Nothing could resist me from sitting in the cockpit. And yeah, these traits. Okay, just try to outshine yourself at that point. Try to outshine and mention your qualities, why you are better than others. Okay, at that point of time, it is necessary to tell your qualities to them and why you're better. Now another important question that was asked from me is, why didn't you opt for Air Force? Flying is also done there. So most of the people have specs just like me. So this is a very basic reason that they all give. I too gave this reason. But besides this, there's another reason that why are you devoted to commercial flying only? My reason was there that I thought that I could serve, and the personality, the kind of profession I was looking, I could only find it in commercial aviation. I am a true Desh Bhakt. I really love my nation, as everyone does. But staying away from the family and living up in that lifestyle, I think that this lifestyle of commercial pilot, this kind of everyday routine, I could fit myself in this better than that. So yeah, this was my reason. Now the next question was about their fleet size, like they have Beech Barons, Cessnas. Okay, these kind of questions, whether they are 4-seaters, 2-seaters, and what is the difference between the conventional cockpit and the glass cockpit, the same as Chimes Aviation Academy. Now there was one important question that they asked me, why do you want to come in Mpfc? This question is very important for all the people who want to go in Mpfc, because I think you guys would be having doubt as well, that why did I choose MPFC over Chimes Aviation Academy? See, I chose Mpfc because the first factor is this: it is located on Indore airport itself. You just land, you just turn left, and you see the hangar of Mpfc. So that thing really fascinated me. Second, it has a controlled airspace. The same ATC gives you instructions. The same ATC who gives instructions to the airlines, the real-time pilots who are flying, the same ATC gives you instructions, and I think that is a very good way of learning and being in the practical world, whether you will be flying in another 2 to 3 years. So I think that would be very beneficial for any of the aspiring pilot. Along with this is a kind of flying club, and I talk to my seniors. This is a kind of flying club. Yeah, I need to mention something as well, sorry. When I told them about, spoke to some of your seniors as well. They took it in a very funny manner and they said me, यार हमने तो उन्हें पैसे दिए थे ये बोलने के लिए. So I think the instructors are quite funny and I just like that thing. Okay, never mind. So they told me that the seniors told me that if you are searching for a flying club that produces skilled pilot, though every flying club does, but actually many flying clubs are just focusing on taking money. I will not take any name of the flying clubs, but they are just focusing on taking money, though they complete your flying in very less time as compared to Mpfc. But yeah, Mpfc is such a flying club that takes genuine efforts, and it just takes a lot of time because they want to create you as a skilled pilot, not the best pilot, and just focus on being a good pilot, a skilled pilot. Don't go in that competition race. There's no competition in our world till you're sitting in that airline interview. Okay, so I would say that Mpfc produces very genuine skilled pilots. They see everything very minutely, whether you know this minute detail of the aircraft or not. So I think that's a very big factor. It takes quite a long time. They also told me that they're gonna take a lot of time. If they take 5 years, then whether they were pressurizing me that whether we take 5 years, are you still willing to come in Mpfc? Guys, I know 5 years is quite a long time, but again, I knew that they're pressurizing me. I knew it very well. So I thought, yes sir, I'll wait for 6 years as well if you said. So they started laughing. So that's why they said me, it's okay, we'll complete your flying in 2.5 years maximum. So these all things were there. Okay, so this was all about my Chimes and Mpfc interview rounds. Now I'll tell you, if you wanna get a detailed video on what all to say in the interview when they ask you questions, I think I already mentioned some of the points, but if you want a detailed video on this, then do let me know in the comment section. I'll be glad to make a new video on this in which I'll be talking about what are the interview questions can you expect and how to answer them in the most precise way, what all words to use, what all strengths and weakness you need to mention for yourself that could help you in the industry. So these things are there, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so all the best for your interview, and do provide me with your feedbacks. Do tell me if you're selected in Mpfc or Chimes or any other flying club. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, then please subscribe it and keep flying.